Welcome to the very first episode of Fangirls on Site. I'm one of your hosts, Nemino, joined by...
Koya, hi.
Yes. So if you want bios or anything about us, you'll find those later in the What's Coming January '08 forum, which kindly exploded. Thank you, Matrix. So, now we're moving on to this month's topics. Since this is a Transformers site, let's start with a Transformers topic. The Transformers debate. How to bring Jazz back from the dead.
If they even are going to do it.
Yeah. A fandom theory guide.
And fandom has many theories. They're logical, and they're crazy, and they're all sorts in between.
Yes. So, we'll start with what we dubbed theory number 1. Shard of the Allspark.
At the end of the movie, you notice, Optimus pulls the Allspark out of Megatron's chest, takes it in his hand, but... Oh, what is he going to do with it? We don't know! Is he going to crunch it? The theories run wild as to what he's going to do with it, but there's a couple of thoughts as to what he might do with it, including...
Thought number 1 is that the shard is going to be used to bring Jazz back to life, and that's all it can do before turning into little-bitty dust bits and everyone dies.
Second correlation is that as a shard, it has just as much power as the original Allspark, and given enough time, it can actually regenerate itself into the full cube. Now, if it did fully regenerate, then poof! I mean, easy way to bring back Jazz.
And anyone else who died.
Of course, that also means the war starts up again, because the Decepticons are like, hey! The cube's back! We thought that was gone.
Okay, so, that brings us to theory number 2. At the moment of his death, Jazz's spark transfers itself into another body.
This has actually been done quite well in various parts of fanfiction. Some of the authors have taken really unique ideas on that. Okay. And they did a very good job of it, and, you know, it's very interesting to read, and I can point a couple people out.
If you want links to it, please just post back in the comments section. Theory number 3. See Sam as the Allspark debate. Oh my. This has gone from good to bad to why are they doing this again?
Well, it's one of the more popular ones on the internet. I mean, theory number 1 is probably the most popular. You know, they just take the shard and poof, there's Jazz back. Probably the second to third most popular theory is the fact that since Sam was using the Allspark to destroy Megatron, the Allspark was, in a way, dying, so it decided to bind itself to another form to survive. Well, Megatron's dying because Sam's using this Allspark to kill him, but hey, physical contact with another living body, so what if it's not metal? So what if it's organic? Hey, we'll just bind it to it anyway.
Yeah.
So, Sam becomes the Allspark.
Often used in angst fix, because Sam is angsting at the fact, oh no, I'm the Allspark,
Angst! I've been transformed into something else, I'm no longer human, I'm going to outlive all my friends. Now, this can be overdone, and it can be done quite well. I've seen examples of both. And
you live in the dark side of fandom, of course you've seen examples of both. Cue evil snickering. Okay,
speaking of dark side of fandom... Theory number 4, Attack of the Mary Sues. The true love of his bonded is enough to bring Jazz back, because they're just that special. The really scary correlation of that is his bonded Mary Sue coming to Earth, and before she left, she got pregnant, and her spark will kind of reincarnate itself as Jazz. Those are kind of scary. Even I couldn't sit through all of them. I got about half a page in and went, no, and hit the back button.
For those of you who don't know what a Mary Sue is when a fiction writer creates the ultimate female. She can do no wrong. Every guy is wrapped around her little finger metaphorically.
Not just every guy. Every other character. She is so wonderful, so perfect. Nobody ever knew what they did without her, except the fact that canon doesn't need her anyway.
Yeah. And, not even Primus can smite her, because Primus likes her.
Yes, now this is not just for Mary Sue's, there's also the male variety, Gary Stu, or there's a couple of variations of the name, but essentially same thing, only a guy.
Yeah.
So this can go both ways, but more often it's Mary Sue's, because the people who are most often writing this are fangirls.
Yes, the evil fangirls. Not us kind of fangirls. We don't go squee and say one true love, insert here.
Well, I just don't write fanfiction, period, so...
Yeah, you're exempt of that. But anyway, moving on to theory number 5, because we beat theory number 4 to death with a stick, unless you have something else to add.
I was going to say, I can give examples of that if you're feeling brave or if you really want to get drunk.
For those of you listening who are of the drinking age, we do not go for underage drinking. So, anyway, theory number 5. He didn't die!
Outright denial.
Ha! Out and out denial. He wasn't dead, he just kind of took a vacation to Hawaii for a little while. The corollary to that is, why are people saying he didn't die? Because Ironhide blows stuff up, and Ratchet's the one who fixes them. Ironhide made a mistake calling him dead on the spot.
Well, Ironhide was the one who handed him to Optimus, saying, Optimus, we couldn't save him, but, the argument is, how would Ironhide know? He's not the medic, he's just the weapons specialist. So there's debates of, oh, no, they thought it was extinguished, but there's a very tiny little spark clinging on. And that's with, either the amplification of the Allspark shard, or just, again, Mary Sue's or whatnot, or just even time. The spark gets strong enough to fully reignite, and Jazz is back among the living.
Probably with a massive headache.
More like massive midsection ache, because it got ripped in half.
All sorts of pain. Okay.
Yeah.
This isn't just a fan fiction. No.
Well, those are the most common theories we've seen in fan fiction.
Yes, those common theories we've seen in fan fiction. But this podcast isn't just about Transformers. No.
Before we actually go on, I was maybe hoping to add something a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I totally just thought of this on the spot. Sorry. Well, okay, the thing is, Jazz revives. Okay, what next? There's some people who think, he's going to be horribly traumatized. Take your pick of who that batch might be.
Angst
Fic or the Mary Sues, and the true love of the Mary Sue will, wash away all his pain and redeem him forever and ever. Amen. Whatever. Insert Linkin Park song of choice here. There's, a lot of them that are just like, oh, he's back. Everything's back to normal. Yay. And there is the occasional fic where he's back, but like a computer, he's been reformatted and lost all his memory. And those are a little bit rarer, so...
Dude!
In terms of interest, that's kind of interesting.
Child Jazz! Well, that's scary.
Not so much child as in a completely reformatted computer, and he doesn't recognize anybody, so he has to relearn.
Yeah, that's just scary. Jazz relearning with his skill set.
Well, he's still got all his skills. He's just relearning who everybody is and, what sort of relationship he had with everybody.
Stick Jazz's skills with a computer hacking system? Oh my.
So, just
Eep.
It's fun. I mean, there's some really good stuff out there, and there's some scary stuff out there, but, it's worth a while to take a peek.
If you know where to look. As I was saying before correlation number 6 got tossed in.
Sorry.
No problem. It's perfectly alright. We don't have a time limit on this, I don't think.
Sweet.
We get to keep you here for as long as we want.
But we won't.
Okay. Anyway.
We're merciful.
We're merciful. Sort of. We are fangirls. We have to give some kindness. Maybe. This isn't just going to be about Transformers, because, hey, Matrix has that, and we just finished the roundtable, which was Transformers only. So, this is a fangirl look at stuff like anime!
And video games.
Yes. But we'll be touching on anime first, and I believe Koya has a preview for us?
Well, okay, I know I posted in the Otakubot forums before it got completely swamped by the Naruto Bleach debate, but people were asking for recommendations, and I have seen a lot of anime. I've been in the anime fandom for a very long time.
Like, scary amount of long time.
Fandom for a very long time.
When she says she knows the dark side of fandom, she ain't kidding, folks.
There's a saying on the internet is for porn. That's kind of mostly true. Been there, seen it, it's scary. But anime doesn't necessarily have to be it, and there's a lot of good out there. One of, I think, the underappreciated animes I would like to touch on in this case is 12 Kingdoms. And I actually took my screen name from a character in there. I did it mostly because I liked the meaning of the name. The character himself, I think, is pretty interesting from what little we see of him. So, you're not going to get all too much out of him, because he's only in 6, 7 episodes. So it is a 49 episode series. If you like stories with plots, this is for you. It's got a lot of plot, not so much sappy relationship stuff, not so much shoujo. It's very fantasy and very plot. I really like it. It's underappreciated, and it's really, really good. It deserves a lot more than it got.
I've happily gotten to see that anime as well, and it's got beautiful music in it.
Oh yeah, the animation too.
The animation's top notch. If you're worried that it's just going to be all story and bogged down with no action, fear ye not. There are a couple massive, beautiful fight scenes in that thing. The main character versus the demon dudes that start trying to come after her, that was wonderful. And taking on the monkey. Taking on the monkey.
Not to mention, she, at one point, has to get in front of an army and back the generals down, and she does it pretty much by herself. And it's just, she
Smackdown Foo.
Smackdown Foo, yes, is the word I was going for. It's beautiful Smackdown.
Excellent art in that. Okay, well, the anime I want to talk about is called Brigadoon, and it's pretty much a missed hit. It has been released here in the US. It's a 6 DVD animation. I believe there are box sets out there with all 6. It's a wonderful, heartwarming anime. Yes, it does have its sappy moments, but the animation's quite nice. Not quite as good as 12 Kingdoms, but still quite nice. Excellent show. You can watch it through at least twice. It's got an interesting storyline that I cannot do justice to, and character designs that are quite unique. In fact, the main character, Melon Blue, who's from basically a parallel dimension, he doesn't have hands. He has a katana sword for one hand and a specialized beam rifle for the other. And it's an amazing show, and I cannot do it any justice for, at least plot-wise, other than the fact it's really good. So, now that I've done horribly by my favorite anime, we're moving on to video games, which starts with Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes, one of my personal favorites, Kingdom Hearts series. It's kind of an oddball, because, I mean, here's, you know, the Final Fantasy characters, here's Tetsuya Nomura, and here's Donald and Goofy running around. What's going on? I'm so confused, except not. He makes it work, and he makes it work beautifully. From what I've seen on the internet, and I don't want to speak for any fanboys, because I'm not one, obviously, and I don't know their opinions on it, but most of the fangirls I've seen, especially those of us who have grown up on Disney, running around and interacting in your favorite Disney worlds with Final Fantasy characters, how freaking awesome is that?
Especially if you really like Final Fantasy.
If you really like Final Fantasy and you really like, you know, your old cherished childhood Disney movies, you get them both at once, and you get to run around and you know, like, hang out with Tarzan, and he's sitting there beating up animes, and you're like, dang, this is so cool.
And Mickey Mouse shows up.
Yes.
How can you not like that when Mickey Mouse shows up?
Mickey Mouse is like freaking Yoda, man. I mean, the spinny flips and the Smackdown Foo, and you're just like, dang! Why can he kick more ass than I can? What's wrong?
You get your butt handed to you by a mouse.
Well, he actually is here to save your butt. You don't actually ever fight against him, thank God. But, I mean, especially for the first game, it's not just the Disney things. You've got this typical Square Enix plotline with all its lovely twists and turns
and pulling on your heartstrings.
You know, bombshells out of nowhere. By the way, this person is, spoiler. What? Wait, what? Huh? You know, typical Square Enix thing to do. So, I mean, it's really a fun little game. The sequel, Chain of Memories, I didn't actually play, but they've got, you know, ROMs for that, like, everywhere on the internet, so that's easily fixed. But you can actually play the second game, or Kingdom Hearts 2, which is technically the third game, without playing Chain of Memories. And Kingdom Hearts 2 really improved on the first game in terms of, like, controls, camera controls, fighting styles.
Minigames. Minigames are interesting.
Minigames are interesting, but same with all minigames. There's a level of annoying to them. For instance, Kingdom Hearts 2 is really, really fond of time limits, which sometimes really sucks. But, you know,
well, you gotta admit,
no game can be perfect.
You gotta admit, fighting those 100 Heartless by yourself.
No, Thousand Heartless.
Thousand Heartless.
Oh my god, that is such a wonderful stress reliever. You're just like, die! Wham, 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 and you're pummeling the snot out of it. Out of all these Heartless, and it's just you by yourself, and you're just wailing on them left and right, and it's so much fun. In fact, I have a save file, a separate save file from my game, just so I can go back and do that again and again and again, because it is so much fun. I really enjoy it. It's really cool. It's got a pretty nice following. You'll actually, if those of you who do attend conventions, if you attend anime conventions, you'll probably see a lot of Kingdom Hearts cosplayers running around.
I remember when we went to Anime Fest, there were at least 2 or 3 Soras and a couple of Roxases and a couple of people going together. Yowie Fangirls, anyone?
Well, that, and I mean, just, you see people running around in black trench coats, full length, big zipper and a hood. It's most likely from Kingdom Hearts 2. Or Chain of Memories.
Or both.
Yeah. Or some combination of, because they do have a couple of repeat characters. But
Axel.
Yes, Axel. It's a really fun little game. I mean, if you're into RPGs, I definitely recommend checking it out. I mean, you can get past the Sora Donald and the Donald and Goofy part. It can be done. Once you get past that, everything's cool.
The Donald and Goofy part?
Some people just cannot get past the part now. Oh my god, Donald Duck is running around in my party. This is so wrong. Ah! No, it's okay. He's your mage. You like him. Assuming you have him set up correctly so he doesn't use all your potions. But you can once you get past that, it's a wonderful little game. It's really cute. They're making a third one. Yes. I greatly look forward to it.
Because they're going to be yanking on our heartstrings even more!
Possibly. We don't even know what's going to happen.
Okay, so that brings us to my game pick, which is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. I was lucky enough to get a Wii before they became super uber scarce and picked up Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And I'd also like to throw in as a cameo here, the first game I got for the Wii was Sonic and the Secret Rings, which if you haven't picked that game up and you have a Wii, what the hell are you waiting for? It's a great little game. Okay, so we're talking about Zelda, not Sonic. Zelda. Interesting little game. I have to admit, my favorite part of it was, for any of you who are familiar with the Zelda franchise, if you remember the Red Deads, the zombie dudes who could freak the hell out of you and sing their song and turn you into stone and all sorts of ugliness, well, you can turn into a wolf, turn around, and bite the hell out of them. And it's great stress reliever right there where you go, die, you stupid zombie, die! Okay, so basically the plot line is you're Link, or whatever you decide you name your character as. You live in a nice little town in the middle of nowhere Hyrule. You're asked to take a sword over to Princess Zelda's place. Well, before you can do that, these giant ogre orc thingies riding humongous boars.
Your village gets attacked!
Yeah.
Just like in every other game ever!
Yeah, your village gets attacked, your best friend gets kidnapped, the kids of the village get kidnapped.
And it's up to you to go do something about it!
Yes, so on your way to go do something about it... Oh, and your horse gets kidnapped. Forgot that part. Your horse gets kidnapped, too.
Will they stupid nothing?
Literally. So on your way to go rescue them, you run across this wall of weird Twilight-ish stuff and get pulled through by a giant freaking hand. And thus begins your adventure when you get turned into a wolf and you have to figure out what the hell is going on over.
Well, the fun part is at first you can't get your other body back. So you're like, how am I supposed to use this sword? Whatever. I'll just bite him.
Yeah, the game makes you pick up a sword while you're still a wolf, and you're like, can't do anything. But eventually, as time passes, you do get the ability to switch between wolf and human. I'm just not telling you how. Okay, I've run my gambit.
The other one I would like to address is, I think, probably the most addictive game for me, Bejeweled. Bejeweled 2 Deluxe, in fact. I'm clean. I haven't played it in 3 weeks! Be proud of me!
That's pretty much a miracle, from what I understand.
That's the one where I sit there and I play it on 8 to 10 hour sprees and don't eat and sleep and don't do homework.
Yeah, remember those horror stories you heard of people who play WoW? That's for Koya with Bejeweled.
I'm on level 42 though! Woohoo!
Okay.
Never let me play Puzzle Quest. It's leveling up like an RPG and Bejeweled in one. I will disappear off the face of the earth.
Alright, things to never let Koya do. Play Puzzle Quest. Eep. Okay, that brings me back to me with the best classic video game I ever played, which is Legend of Dragoon for the PlayStation 1. Oh my. It was the very first game I ever got. Ironically, one of the last games I ever beat. I haven't played it in so long, I kind of forgot half of the plot line to it, but...
I can help you out.
Go for it.
Okay, well, game starts out with not the main character. You see a secondary character at the very beginning, and she's standing on a mountain and being mysterious. Who knew? But they explains later on. Anyway, you're young Dart, and you're returning to your village after going off on a wonderful training spree. And, oh hey, what's that in the distance? Soldiers? What's going on? Your village gets attacked. Who knew? Yeah. I love saying that, because it happens in every video game ever. I mean, I understand why, because you have to have a plot somehow, but it's just...
It gets on to the point of being repetitive. The village got attacked!
Your village, in the middle of nowhere, your lovely, peaceful village gets attacked, and then you are cast out to go either A, rescue somebody, or just B, plain vanished. Or banished. Banished.
You are vanished by being banished.
Yes, you must go on a quest because you've been banished from your village. Well, okay. So your village has been attacked. Oh, no, at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, your village gets attacked.
Well, no, I was thinking...
The very beginning of the game, the opening sequence that you see is when your village is attacked.
Yeah. I thought the opening sequence was Rose. It's actually Shauna.
Yeah.
So your childhood friend, Shauna, gets attacked.
No, the village gets attacked. Your childhood friend, Shauna...
To get Shauna.
Yeah. To get Shauna, who, mind you, Dart has a crush on, so...
If you play it the right way.
You can...
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, now that we've gotten that debate through.
Anyway,
later.
So they take off, you see Rose, she mumbles something that won't make sense until later on in the game. You do your typical, here's how you work the controls. Dragoon is actually different from a lot of other games. It's a sense of timing. You can go to, like, Chrono Cross or Xenogears.
Final Fantasy, even.
And sit there and be like, Xenogears, you do the combo. Chrono Cross, you sit there and you're like, I just want to attack, here's X. Final Fantasy, you click on attack, a little arrow. Dragoon does a system of timing. You have to hit the square at exactly the right time or you won't do enough damage.
So if you have a super powerful combo attack, if you
don't screw up the combo, you can do about 2 damage.
Yeah. No matter what combo attack it is.
And the fun part of it is that some baddies will actually counterattack you if you don't do the combo perfectly, and will do you damage instead of you doing them damage.
Yes. Yeah, we just got off on the story.
Yeah,
anyway,
completely went off.
Your girlfriend, BF, Shauna, gets kidnapped. You don't know why.
You get to the village that morning and defeat a couple of the guards and a captain, and you're, one of the training masters / village elders / Shauna's parents sit there and be like, oh, go rescue her. So you're off to the local prison to go bust her out.
Which brings into a whole other thing. So while you're in the prison, you find this knight who got captured by the bad guys, and you all bust out together, and la-di-da, blah, 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 etc., move on, plot line, story twist, character death, etc., etc., etc. It's a wonderful little game, so if you happen to pick it up, or find it online, one of the two, it's a nice little game.
Unless your timing absolutely positively sucks, then, what is the War God Amulet is going to be your friend. Because it automatically completes all combos.
Yes. This has been the first episode of Fangirls on Site. I hope you weren't expecting sanity, because, well, as you can tell, we don't have any.
Well, we have sanity, we just don't have coherence.
Yeah. If that made any sense whatsoever.
I think it did.
This is Nimino.
And this is Koya.
And we are signing off. See you next month. So, once Koya and our sound person Blue finish having their fight between... yeah! There was a fight going on between Sky, Fire, and Starscream. Who will win? So far, it appears Skyfire is winning because Starscream just doesn't have any fire missiles.
Yes, it is.
Wow, I'm gonna have to do a bit of editing with this.
Yeah.
He has flying fists. Hey, that's our ID prize move. Okay, now that we've gone and been insane,